Is your Wi-Fi slow? Do you find that the coverage you have just isn't really good enough, and that there's that one seat in your house you can sit and use your smartphone and sometimes it will work fine, and others it just won't, sort of leaving you wondering why you bothered in the first place? Well, you're not alone, because I've been suffering with this for years. And I've tried a few different solutions. I've tried more expensive routers, I've tried things like Wi-Fi extenders, and while they can definitely help the problem, I've not really found a solid fit that will actually fix the problem entirely and give me good range in every single room in my house. BT though think they've got a proper solution for this problem. They wanted to send out a new product, sponsor this video. And that product is the BT Whole Home WiFi. And it's not a single router. In fact, it's 3 access points that you spread around your house, essentially giving you a mesh network, which means that you have coverage in every single room without having to sort of worry about dead spots, because it'll all automatically configure itself to give you the best connection no matter where you are in the home. And setting this thing up was actually incredibly simple. Inside the box you'll find those 3 access points. They're power cables and then an Ethernet cable as well. And each unit is identical, and they're not really that big either. They're a little larger than something like a portable hard drive, and because they don't have any ugly antennas sticking out, you'll be able to integrate this in your home without sort of worrying about people asking what that horrible thing in the corner is. And actually configuring it, well, it's very simple too, because you don't really need to configure anything at all. Don't need to worry about IP addresses, you don't need to worry about a desktop computer. All you need to do is simply grab your first unit, connect it to your existing router via an Ethernet cable, plug it into your power, download the BT app, and then pretty much you are away. You simply name each of the 3 disks and then place them around the home wherever you like. Obviously your primary one does have to stay connected via Ethernet at all times to your existing router, but once you've done that you can decide where you want to place the others. And you might think it might not be that easy to decide the optimum place to put them for best signal and best coverage, but there is actually a portion of the app that will do this for you as well, as it shows you essentially where the best places to put each of the units are by doing a scan for your existing network and then saying, hey look, place me here, or put me a little further away, or put me a little bit closer. But the phone application isn't all about setting up your network. You can do things like monitoring what's going on. So if there's someone in maybe a little bit too close to your home and they're picking up your Wi-Fi signal, you can check that there's actually no one on your network that's not authorized. You can do things like stopping the internet altogether if you find that maybe some of your family members are using it a little bit too late into the evening. And as well, you can check the status and health of the network. So if something goes wrong, you should hopefully be able to actually find out what it is that's causing the problem, rather than sort of fishing around with wires for a while and sort of hoping for the best. And so that's the whole home Wi-Fi from a setup perspective. Very simple, simply grab a smartphone and you're away. But how does this thing perform? Because if the performance isn't very good, then obviously it's not going to be worth investing in now, is it? From a technical specification point of view, we've pretty much got everything we would want here. We've got the latest standards with things like AC Wi-Fi and MIMO. We support 5 GHz and 2.4 GHz. And fortunately, it all sort of manages that internally for you as well. You don't have to worry about multiple networks in your home. You don't need to worry about anything really. Simply connect to the Wi-Fi network and the system will do the rest. But to actually see if this is a good product and to compare it against something else, I grabbed the standard router that comes with my broadband provider, which has not that similar specs, but it does have AC Wi-Fi and it does have 5 GHz and 2.4 GHz bands. So I guess you would expect that to sort of do a reasonable job in a standard sized home. But putting them head to head actually did reveal some interesting results. Setting up both the whole home Wi-Fi and then my hub on the same desk in my studio, and then doing a test from around about 30 centimeters away, as you would expect, the performance between the two was pretty much identical. We didn't see any gains with the whole home Wi-Fi here. There's nothing in the way, and if either of them didn't perform at maximum speed, I would sort of be very, very surprised. Moving a bit further away again into my dining room, which is in the center of the house, so if you like 2 sort of walls away, and the hub, it performed okay. I mean, if you wanted to use it with sort of smartphone for web browsing, I don't really think it would be that much of a big deal for you, but we've lost a lot of speed here, and we're losing a lot of signal as well, so we really are starting to see a problem, despite the fact we're really not that far away at all. And then to really take the cake, if you like, we moved a lot further away, so right at the end of my lounge, which is right at the other end of the house, and we sort of flicked around 1 to 2 bars on the hub. Very, very poor performance. I mean, passable. You know, earlier when I mentioned sometimes you'll get reception, sometimes you won't, and things just won't load all the time. This is that spot, and as you can see, the hub just isn't really up to scratch at all. And then, finally, I really wanted to push the boat out and see whether this thing could actually reach what I would describe as the dead zone, the area that has never received any Wi-Fi signal at all in my home. Even after using extenders, it's still pretty much been useless. The study. And sure enough, the hub I was using just didn't show up at all. You're not going to get anything, no chance of dropouts because you've got nothing in the first place. Whereas actually the Whole Home Wi-Fi, bearing in mind that I wasn't actually really that close, I hadn't set the one of the discs that close to the study, still got around about flicking between 3 and 4 bars of signal with respectable speeds and latency. And if you wanted to use a Wi-Fi device in there, you can now. Before I was relying on a wired connection if you wanted to do anything in there, whereas there's actually Wi-Fi in there. And this is the thing that I like the most about the Whole Home Wi-Fi, the fact that it just completely eliminates the dead spots in my house entirely, and I don't have to worry about having reduced range or having to sort of be very careful where I put certain devices, as it just works. And the fact that it's all seamlessly sort of handled with one network name, you don't need to worry about disconnecting from a slow network to a fast one or an extender or something like that. I still get confused when it comes to networking. Things sort of often don't work for me, and people ask me how do I fix this problem, and I sort of try and explain it, and they don't always quite understand what I'm doing and what a power line and things like that is. But the fact that you can just get a one box solution realistically, and you can just say to someone, here look, this should solve your problem and increase range throughout your house. It's actually quite nice to see a product that will do this without pretty much any setup fuss or management fuss. And overall, I have to say it's definitely solved the range problem for me. But there we go, that has been the Whole Home Wi-Fi. If you have any questions, then do let me know down in the comments section below. Like this video if you like it, dislike it if you haven't. Let me know what other sort of products you want me to check out next, and I'll see you in the next video.